Trent, Teddy, congratulations. Very good prelim. How do you assess the way you did it, Robert?
Yeah, I thought the couple of front rowers set the tone from the start, along with this guy next to me, and I thought it was I really enjoyed the start of the game. I think it was 6-0, probably up until around 20-25 minutes. There was some good long periods there, and then got some rewards on the back end of that first half. And I thought, quite dominant from a lot of the guys. I liked that there was a lot of guys playing their role in a really good way, and I thought they had a really good first set. I think they ran through us twice. On our tackle was a bit off, and then the longer the game went, the better our line moved on their shifting. So, good night.
What was key to having that physicality on point tonight? What did you say to have you so dialed in?
We trained pretty hard this week, which you don't usually do in semi-finals. And the boys handled it really well. And then, obviously, I mean, Jared and Victor coming back in set a tone as well about the way they play the game. But I thought a lot of guys were really hard to tackle tonight in the way they carried and also tackled well. So, it's a slight shift in mindset there.
You mentioned Teddy, game 250.
Yeah.
Where does this one rank?
I was trying to think about that not long ago. Just, it was incredible. Like, he made a decision how he was going to play tonight, and he's not you won't see any difference in him from week to week. Teddy just sort of you guys get to know him, but he's underneath. He's quite shy, and so therefore he doesn't really say too much, or he's not going to say, I'm going to do this. He just but somewhere during the week he made a decision, and he's been playing like that all year. But that was another level up tonight. That was exceptional.
Teddy, you loved being asked about the milestone earlier in the week. I'll ask again now. I know you didn't want to reflect on it earlier, but just this sort of performance, I mean, how proud are you on such a big stage to play like that?
Yeah, I mean, it was really nothing different for me all week, just that usual preparation I do. And I know if I do all the prep I need to do, I can just go out and enjoy my footy and not have to think too much. And, in big games as well, it was just about enjoying it, getting the boys ready around me. And I thought everyone did their job well and allowed me to just play footy. And, that's pretty much what it was, just enjoying myself.
Robbo, I didn't get the segue right yesterday, but his housemate, Victor Radley, came off after 30 minutes. Is that right?
Luckily for ex-housemate, that's Maria would not accept Radley.
Apologies to
that would not go down well. He was he's pretty key inclusion for us, and the work that he had to do. I don't think anybody thought he was going to play at the start of the week except for him, and he kept telling people he was going to play, and then he convinced everyone around him. So that was a really good job tonight. So missed how we wanted to play week one, improved on week two. So looking forward to next week.
What do you think of Sandon Smith's involvement tonight and the week that he had internally? How was he?
Really good. Senior players and myself supported him. I know there was a fair bit of commentary about him at the start of the week, and so for a young guy I thought he handled it really well, and he got the building blocks right of the game, so it was a nice game.
Robert, was it a bit of a statement in the way you guys played, do you think, to some extent, given there has been a bit of talk about you guys in the last couple of weeks, and obviously since the blows and last week's result? Do you feel like you guys made a statement that you're still a genuine threat in this competition tonight? We need to continue to make that. We're not going to be doing cartwheels tonight and sprouting who we are. We need to make that next week. And so really proud of the way they handled the week. They're really proud of what we did, but we need to go and do it again next week.
Have you already addressed that? Do you have to have that conversation straight after a game like this?
You guys are really happy. Obviously, it's our last game out here for this year, so I like the way they celebrate that and celebrate the wins. But as I said, no one was over the top. Everyone was quite focused on good performance. There's a happiness there, but then there's also a focus on what we can do and getting ready for next week.
I know it was 1 minute the way you guys won the game physically and controlled the ruck there, but Did you guys connect better this week, do you think, than you have in the previous few since those blows, like just in attack?
Yeah, I think so. Different opponent. I thought we were moving pretty well there last week. The longer the game went, but there was a little bit. I mean, obviously the first try was a good example of what Rads did. Ted jumped, but if he missed it by a little bit more, if someone didn't move like that, so that's the importance of having the inclusion of some of those guys.
Although how important is it that you do that again next week with having those guys running on angles and playing off those offloads and things like that to break down the Storm defence?
Yeah, there's they're there for a reason. There's all respect to them, and we need to take a breath, and then we need to get ready to go up a gear again, and so that will take. That's in our game already, so it's not about planning that. It's about creating a platform that's going to offer those opportunities.
Are you pleased to have the chance to go back down there after the way that I suppose that game finished last year? Yeah, that was a tough finish last year, but you don't carry the weight of that. It's a brand new year. We get the opportunity after a while, a few years, to play in a prelim, to play in a grand final. So that's enough reward for us. So looking forward to it.
Trent, you mentioned before it was a pretty big week training-wise ahead of the semi. Does that affect the way you approach this week? Do you sort of pare it back a bit, or is it all guns blazing again?
It's slightly different purely on 8 days and 6 days, the turnaround difference. And so I knew some of the work that we're going to get in this week was going to carry into next week. There's some things we'll need to do again, and there's things that we can't do just because of the turnaround time. So it's not about having to repeat everything every week, but you do have to get some training in over the course of 2 or 3 weeks to hold, and I feel like we did some really good stuff this week.
What about Joseph Swale? He was lifting a bit at the back end, didn't take that penalty goal. How's he doing?
Yeah, I think it was a cork. I think both him and the other guy that got a cork, Sandon, also took the kick at the goal. So I think he got it in that midfield, obviously on that left-hand side near the touchline there. And I thought his kicking was outstanding tonight. It was. He'll be fine. He looked fine in there.
Teddy, how tough is Victor Atley? Like, what's like playing alongside a guy just really excited?
Yeah, he's pretty tough. Just ask him. He'll tell you how tough he is. But no, he was pretty unbelievable. I think with that injury, he probably should be out another few weeks. But he put the team first. He wanted to get out there and do anything he could to help us get the win, and he did that. He was awesome to start the game. So he'll be pretty sore tomorrow, but he's done a good job for us for sure.
What was you thinking putting him in the middle? Obviously, he's been so effective on an edge for most of this year.
I thought Satili's come on well, and Satili's been playing well, so the combination out there. And then also the way that you want to run your locks. I had Connor there, and so Connor was playing that, but as soon as Brandon came out, Connor had to go into hooker. I needed that link, that lock provided, and Connor can provide it. No longer there, so therefore Rads.